Hi everyone, Chris here. I'm just going to compare in this video the X98 Air 3G to the Teclast X10HD. I've had a bit of time on now with the new tablet here from Teclast, and I'll go over the pros and cons of both of these machines here, because I know a lot of people are thinking which one of these is better for me. Both have their pros and cons, and I'll go over that shortly. You can see here that the machines obviously are physically different. This has more of a business kind of look to it, more of a Surface 2 Pro look, so black, and it's a 16:10 screen with quite a high resolution. And the X98 Air is 4:3, which I prefer. I quite like 4:3 screens. Since getting my Surface 3 Pro, I actually quite enjoyed that 3:2 screen that it had. This is a similar kind of ratio here. Anyway, so I've done some testing with both of these tablets, and you just here I've got on the screen of both of them. I ran some tests with the modem to see what the 3G internet speed was, what I could get out of them. And surprisingly, there is a difference. There's also a difference in the SIM card slot, as the X10 has a micro SIM card slot, and the X98 Air 3G has just a normal one, so I had to use an adapter, which is quite annoying. I wish I had a micro SIM slot. There's a lot more devices using micro SIM. Anyway, you can see the speeds here. There's quite a difference. I only managed to get a download speed of 2 megabits per second and an upload of 2.34 on the X10HD, whereas on the X98 Air you can see they've got a much faster speed. I used the same SIM card, and so for some reason it's reporting a different IP address, but it's the same SIM card, and I have tried with this one to try and get a similar speed, and I haven't been able to do that. Maybe it was down to the network at the time, but so far it seems that the 3G speed seems to be a bit slower on this modem that is used. I'm not sure whether they're the same modem or not. Okay, and when it comes down to the screens, well, both of the screens, the touch response on both of them is really good. The brightness and contrast is good. Colors, both of them are very similar when it comes to colors. Black levels, there is a difference between the two. I would say the black levels are actually better on the X98 Air 3G, and the brightness is a fraction, although it's marginal, a fraction brighter on the X10HD. And when it comes to build quality, well, holding them in their hand, I do like the feel of the X10 better. It just seems more, I wouldn't say premium, more solid, because it has the uni body back on it. So it's just one piece, it's the whole back. Well, you do have the plastic top here for the antennas, and that is nice. And in your hands there's no real noises or creaks or anything. On the other hand, when I'm using the X10HD, I don't know if you can hear this on the microphone, there's a few creaks and noises present. Again, just when you're moving it, and that's where the plastic meets up on the corners. The plastic meets up with the metal backing, and it just, oh, there we go, nice crack noise then. I am putting some pressure on it. There is a bit of noise there. Okay. When it comes to RAM and CPU, these are both running 2 gigabytes of RAM and the exact same CPU, which is an Atom Z3736F with a maximum turbo boost speed of 2.16 gigahertz. So their performance wise, they are similar, but as you've seen in some of my other videos, when it comes to games, there is a difference, of course, because of the resolution of these screens. So games will run slightly faster on the X98 Air. So if you want to play some store games, this is the tablet for you then, because they'll run slightly smoother. And if you want to, you're not really worried about gaming and you're more into the screen real estate, then you do have a higher resolution screen here, of course. You have 2560 by 1600 on the X10HD. So you can see the tiles, it even fits more tiles in there. And you can see the difference between, on Windows, what 4x3 and 16x10 screens are, and the high resolution. So we'll go on to desktop here on both of these machines. You can see that, well, obviously one's wider, one's more square. Now there's a price difference, of course, too, between these machines. The X10HD, this machine here is about an extra 80, depends, the price is actually dropping, about an extra 80 US more. So you're paying extra for three things really: for the screen, higher screen resolution, for the attachable keyboard dock, which unfortunately I don't have it at the moment, which clips in the bottom here. So you'll have a dock. This doesn't have a dock attachment at all. The Teclast X98 does not have anything like that. And the other thing is, of course, you have a larger internal storage. You have a 64 gigabyte eMMC drive, whereas you only have a 32 on the X98 Air 3G. So for users that need more storage, you definitely might want to consider the 64 gigabyte version here. But I'll also go over the issues with these machines. My machine has a couple of issues here. One of them is the battery meter. The battery meter sometimes is only reporting one cell, and that's an issue. Once I drained the battery completely and recharged it, it did report there both of the cells, so my battery life was good. The battery life, I've just finished draining this completely and charged it not too long ago. I managed to get from the X10HD, I managed to get almost 6 hours of medium brightness, wireless and internet usage, which isn't too bad, but 3 of those hours were spent with the battery meter sitting at 7%. So I didn't know when it was going to turn off. I just assumed it'd be 2-3 hours because it would only report one battery cell, and finally it turned off and I managed to get almost 6 hours. On the other hand, the Teclast here, well, I can get on a good day around almost 7 hours, 7.5. The battery life is excellent, it's really good. So that's another positive here for the X98, that the battery life is superior. And the other thing is there is a problem with Android on this tablet, on the X10HD. The Android store, I will reboot into Android and show you. The Android store is broken. It's not working at all, and it's really unacceptable that it's shipped out like this. It is really annoying, having me want to throw this tablet out the window. Luckily, I'm not really that much of a big fan of Android anymore on tablets. I used to really like Android on tablets, but after Windows 8.1, that experience has changed for me, and I prefer Windows now because it just seems to be a lot better, especially when it comes to Internet Explorer, how smooth that is, versus Chrome or the Android browser. It's just a lot better. So that's a dual boot menu. I'll boot into Android here, and the Android experience is hampered without the Play Store for me. Screen's a bit smudgy. I still have the protective cover on it. The glass underneath is no better really. Both of these screens are quite smudgy with fingerprints and whatnot. So you can see boot time here it's taking quite a while. Booting between the operating systems is not the fastest thing in the world. That is really slow. I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, there we go. You can see that's quite laggy, that launcher. This Android ROM, I think Teclast had done quite an awful job with it, to be honest. Play Store, I'll show you what happens. Retry your connection. You can see I am connected onto my wireless network here, but I can't get rid of this message. I haven't been able to fix it. It is really annoying. So I recommend to wait if you really want Android to work, Play Store, then wait. Wait if there's going to be a fix on the XDA forums, or wait for Teclast to have an update, which there is none at the moment. Then over the air update. This is basically saying there are no updates found. I've been told. So that is really annoying. In fact, it's a deal breaker really, because Play Store, you do have alternatives you can find. There is other places that mirror the APKs, the apps used on the Play Store, or Amazon Store apparently works on the system, but really it's just not on. It's not good at all. So overall, you're looking at these two tablets and you're probably thinking, which one should I buy? Well, me personally, I would go for this one. And the reasons are, it's cheaper. I like the 4:3 ratio. And I'm not really using Android that much, so I prefer just to run Windows on it. And this system, being the first batch and the first ROM, it has its issues. The build quality, the price. Although the build quality is not bad, it's solid, there are those creaks. The screen is nice. So, saying that, what are the positives of this tablet? Well, obviously the screen, the storage, and Windows does look nice on it. It does run well. There's no real problems with Windows. So maybe you're a person that doesn't like Android anyway, so you could buy this system and you could boot it and install Windows on there and completely just repartition it so you use all of that 64 gigabytes of eMMC for Windows only, and you've got a reasonably good experience then. You might have the issues with the battery meter, but I think the battery meter problem could be linked to the dual operating system, switching between them. So there we have it. So the two tablets here from Teclast, both quite different, and really both of them have positives and negatives, but the X98 Air so far is the winner, I think. All Teclast needs to do now is make a black 64 gigabyte version of this tablet here, and I'll buy that straight away, and I think a lot of other people will too. Dual boot needs 64 gigabytes at least minimum, and if they made a black version of this tablet with that 64 gigabytes, then yeah, it's going to be a sellout. So if you're listening, Teclast, please build that for us and keep it around the 200 US mark as well. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and post your comments. I'll try to reply if I can. Thank you for watching, and do subscribe. I will have a hands-on, hopefully in a week's time, of the Onda V919 dual boot tablet, which is similar to this one here, same screen, and I'll compare that to the Teclast here and run it through and review games and whatnot. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.